Hello, so in this video we'll talk about surface of revolution here. So again, let's start with the definition. If C is a curve in the xy plane and we make a surface of revolution S by revolving C around the y-axis. Now our job is to find the equation of S. Okay, so again, our curve is in xy plane and we want to revolve this curve around the y-axis, and we are interested in finding the equation of S. Okay. So now if we do that, for example, then if we look at the xy plane, what do we see? Now remember, we are revolving it around the y-axis. So without getting into too much 3D drawing, which I'm not very good at. Okay. Now if we are, this is my y, this is my x, and this is my z. Okay. Now if you are revolving, so for example, this is my curve here. If you're revolving it around this y-axis, so you will have this kind of a situation here, correct, where y-axis is right in the middle. So this is, if you see it from here, then you will see all circles here. So if you will see circles here, you will see circles here, and you will see circles for which y-axis is the center, correct. Now this is, again, don't worry about the drawing here. So we will see concentric circles and y-axis has the center, correct, for all of them. Okay. So if we do that, then what do we see? We see circles, and all these circles are on the surface of revolution. So for example, this point is on S, this point is on S, this point is on S, this point is on S. Okay. Now we are interested in one of these circles. If we have a point XYZ on S, what is the corresponding point on the same circle that is on the XY plane or on C? So we are interested in, if we have a point XYZ on S, what is the corresponding point on C or on XY plane? So what is the Z value of that point on C? So we are interested in that point on C or that point on the XY plane which corresponds to the specific point XYZ. So for example, this is my XYZ. Okay, and this is the circle here. Okay, so what should be the Z value? Now we are talking about the XY plane, so Z value should be 0. So the question is, what is the Y value? So the Y value, we can argue that Y value is still this Y, this very Y. Why? Because we are talking about a circle here, and if XYZ is on that surface, then in the Y direction we are moving 0 units. So you can see that all this circle, the Y value is exactly the same. Okay, so in other words, this circle is parallel to the XY plane completely. Okay, so we can say here Y, because circle parallel to XZ plane. Okay, what about the X value? Now X value is little bit involved here. So we are interested in this value. If this is X, what is this? Obviously X value is changed because this X value has, has some other value, and we are actually moving in X direction. So but then this is a circle here, correct? So this is a circle in XZ plane. So we can say here X squared plus Z squared is equal to some constant. Okay, so then what is this constant? This, let's say the point is x1, so I can also say x1 squared plus, what is the value of z? Z0. This is also equal to constant, correct? So this means that x1 is what? X1 squared is the constant itself. So I can say x1 squared here. So this means that x1, this is none other than x squared plus z squared. Okay, so this is the point. So x value is, so for example, this x value is x1. So this x value is this value here. Okay, so again, we said x1 squared, x squared plus z squared is a constant. Why? Because we are talking about a circle here. And then on the xy plane, we have the point x1. So x1 squared plus z squared. So z was 0, so 0 squared This is constant, so this means x1 squared is the constant. So I can replace this constant by x1 squared here. So this means x1 is equal to x squared plus z squared square root. So what is the conclusion? So conclusion is that a point xyz is on S if and only that the point x squared plus z squared square root y and 0 is on C. Okay, so in other words, C is given by, if C is given by this expression or this equation, then S will be given by this equation. Okay, all we have to do is we have to replace x by x squared plus z squared square root. Okay, and this can be extended to other coordinate plane, as we will see in the example here. Okay, so let's now do two kinds of examples. So first kind of example is we want to identify what kind of surface of revolution an equation represents. Okay, so for example we have y minus 4z squared is equal to 4x squared. So this means that this I can write it as y minus 4x squared minus 4z squared is equal to 0. This means I can write it as y minus 4 x squared plus z squared is equal to 0. Okay, so this means that this is a surface of revolution, correct? So this means that y minus 4x squared is equal to 0, replacing x by x squared plus z squared square root gives y minus 4 x squared plus z squared is equal to 0, correct? So this means by observing this I can write this. Okay, now this is what? This is an equation of a parabola, correct? So this is a parabola in the y-x plane or xy plane, and since x is replaced by x squared plus z squared, so this means that it is revolved around y-axis, because we have seen in the example before, this is the exact same example. So this means parabola in xy plane revolved about y-axis. Okay, and you can sketch it now, but this is just a parabola. Okay, let's sketch it. I'll try. Okay, so this is a parabola is it's something like this. Okay, so this is the parabola in the xy plane, and then you rotate it about the y-axis. Also note that you can also say that this is y minus 4z squared. So y minus 4z squared is equal to 0, and then z is replaced by x squared plus z squared. Z is replaced by that. So this means this is a parabola in yz plane, and then you are revolving this in what? In the y-axis again. So this is another way to do that. Let's do another example. Let's say we have, so another example here. We have x squared plus 4y squared plus z squared is equal to 16. Okay, so again we can say x squared plus y squared is equal to 16, and then x replaced by x squared plus z squared square root gives me x squared plus 4y squared plus z squared is equal to 16. Okay, what is this guy? This guy is an ellipse, correct? Okay, so then this means that this is ellipse. So this means ellipse in xy plane revolved around y-axis. Okay. All right. So let's do some other type of examples now. Uh, so find equation of surface of revolution when z is equal to 4 minus y squared is revolved about z-axis. Okay. So then this means that since it is revolved about z-axis, then it means that y is, or y squared replaced by y squared plus z squared. Sorry, y squared plus x squared. Okay. So this means that z is equal to 4 minus y squared minus x squared, so is equal to, is our answer here. Okay, so let's do another example. So we have z squared minus x squared is equal to 1 revolved around x-axis. Okay, so and this means this, we are going to play with this guy. So this means z squared will be replaced by z squared plus y squared, and this is my answer here. Okay, so whenever you see, for example, whenever another observation is, whenever you see an expression x squared plus z squared plus something, or z squared plus y squared plus something, or x squared plus y squared plus something is equal to 0, is equal to 0, is equal to 0. So this means whenever you can separate this or this, it means it will represent a surface of revolution. Okay. Okay, I hope it was easy to understand, and thanks for watching. Hope you like the video.